Hello, this is Peter Lund, and I hope that you have the PowerPoint open so you can thumb along with us as we go. So, did you know that bro science, aka the science you learned in the locker room, is not necessarily real science? If you learned how to schedule workouts from high school gym coaches or other gym bros, you probably learned how to schedule what's called a bro split. I, like many of you, have trained bro splits for years. In middle school, my gym teacher wrote me and my buddies a workout routine that was a bro split. And up until my sophomore year of college, I would continue to work on and improvise new bro split routines for myself, assuming that they were the optimal way to train, until I stumbled upon the actual science. Today, I will share my findings with you and talk about the differences. So, traditional bro splits are not the optimal way to train for muscular hypertrophy. Today, in this speech, I will be comparing both bro splits to full body workouts and persuading you to try the full body workout. Let's start with addressing a common piece of bro science, and that is the biggest guy in the gym is always the smartest guy in the gym. And many of us believe this because we learned how to work out from older and bigger friends. We look up to them because they're bigger than us, and therefore the things that they know are more valuable than the things that we know. They've probably been lifting longer than you, and just because they've been working out for longer does not necessarily mean that they've been working out smarter. Especially when you're both young, you can really get away with a lot of bad training habits and not feel the repercussions of these until later in life. This fallacy extends even beyond your small local gym and onto the internet as well. Many of the fitness influencers you see on Instagram and stuff, even the ones that look great and claim to know exactly what they're doing, might actually be abusing steroids or using other anabolics. The figure on our slide shows that in terms of fat-free index, muscle area, and strength improvements in 4 different muscle groups, there's a group of people that were not training and not using anabolics, a group of people that were training naturally without anabolics, a third group that was using anabolics and not training, and a fourth group that was using anabolics and training. The anabolics used were 600 milligrams of testosterone a week, which is a fairly standard bodybuilding steroid stack. So as you can see, the in the metrics of tricep size, quadricep size, and most importantly, fat-free muscle index, or fat-free index, the group that used steroids and did not train actually improved at a faster rate than the group of people that was just training naturally. The group that was training and using steroids had by far the best improvements across the board. What this means is that for fitness influencers, if they're using even mild anabolics, they can improve considerably faster than natural athletes, regardless of if their workouts are any good. So now that we've gone over why you don't need to listen to everyone's opinions on your workout, let me persuade you to try the full body workout instead of the bro splits that you're probably currently doing. Alright, so first of all, let's define the bro split. What the bro split is when you divide up your workout like Monday chest day, Tuesday back day, Wednesday legs, Thursday shoulders, Friday arm day, Saturday leg day, and Sunday rest day. I would estimate that maybe 80% of people schedule their workouts in the bro split style. These workouts are popular because they're easy for beginners to schedule, and they used to be the most scientifically proven workouts of the golden age of bodybuilding. Almost all of the top bodybuilders from this era use these workouts, including Arnold Schwarzenegger and Frank Zane, and these workouts are still taught by professional strength coaches to this day. Alright, now let's define the full body workout. It's harder to define the full body workout because of its kind of like a varied nature, but I think we can do it if we look at one muscle group at a time. So take the biceps, for example. In our bro split, the biceps are only targeted on arms day. And on that day, you might do 3 sets of 8 reps preacher curls, 3 sets of 12 reps hammer curls, and 3 sets of chin-ups to failure. In our full body workout, you would do the same total number of sets and reps, but you would spread them across multiple days. For example, you could do preacher curls on Monday, hammer curls on Wednesday, and pull-ups to failure on Friday. You need to do the same thing with every single muscle group, keeping in mind overlapping muscle groups. In our example, you would not want to schedule pull-ups on Friday because you're already doing chin-ups on Friday, and they both require the lats. It would be better if you scheduled pull-ups on Tuesday, because pull-ups favor the lats more than the biceps, and your lats should be good to go because on Monday and Wednesday you're doing bicep training isolation exercises. In essence, your full body is spread across the full week. On the slide, I have an example of a workout routine that I've used for Tuesday, and you can see how requires multiple different muscle groups being trained on Tuesday. As you might guess, part of the reason why full body workouts are less popular is due to the fact that they're difficult to schedule. Also, a lot of the research in this topic is very recent, having happened in the past decade. Presenting your average gym bro with a full body routine will often leave him scratching his head because it appears to be randomly scheduled, and you have to walk all over the gym to use what seems to be randomly scheduled equipment. Okay, so now that we've gone over some of the differences between the two, let's look at some of the science that compares the two. So the infamous Norwegian high-frequency training programs experiment is the strongest piece of evidence we have for full-body workouts to this date. The coaches of the Norwegian Olympic powerlifting team in 2012 performed an experiment on their athletes where half of the athletes trained in conventional methods and the other half of the athletes trained in a high-frequency program. However, this is a bit of a misnomer because both groups trained with identical workout volumes. The high-frequency group, however, had similar muscle groups broken up across multiple days, like in our full-body workout routines. The result of this experiment is that athletes selected for the full-body workout improved their strength by approximately 10% over the course of 14 weeks, in comparison to the conventionally trained group that only gained about 5% growth over the course of 14 weeks. The Norwegian team would continue to train this way and dominate their rivals for the next several years to come. And in the past years, both the American and Chinese powerlifting teams have adopted full-body workouts to much success. On the slide, I have bench press, deadlift, and squat numbers, improvements, comparison between the two with margin of error, so you can take a look at that. All right, so let's talk about some of the theories behind this methodology of training, just general theories and evidence for them. Okay, so first of all, Sports Medicine in June of 2015 published a review of resistance training included changes in skeletal muscle protein synthesis and their contribution to hypertrophy. In this experiment, researchers show that after exercising a muscle group, there's a period of time throughout which your body makes that muscle more sensitive to amino acids to rebuild that muscle. In novice lifters, this time frame can be several days. However, in experienced lifters, you might only get about 12 hours. Authors of this paper do not make any claims beyond this point, but we can interpolate that this mechanism of growth is optimized by straining the muscle multiple times per week to keep it in the growth phase for longer, especially in actively trained individuals. In June of 2019, IntJ Physical Sports Preform published evidence of a ceiling effect in training volume and muscular hypertrophy scaled in training in men. Is it less or more? This paper finds evidence to suggest that there's a maximum number of sets that can be performed on a muscle group per day before there is no more benefit in growing that muscle group. These researchers found that performing more than 5 sets on a muscle group per day had little to no benefit over training that muscle group 5 times that day, or doing 5 sets on that muscle group that day. And this is what leads to the kind of the wasted sets theory, that doing more than 5 is kind of, you're just wasting your effort. So I'll include links to 4 more credible sources published in peer-reviewed journals showing this evidence for full-body workouts. You may notice that pretty much all of this science has been uncovered in the past 10 years, which is the reason why many professional coaches to this day still are teaching bro splits to their athletes. In conclusion, bro splits are not the ultimate way to train for muscular hypertrophy, which means muscular growth. Much of the science in the past few years points to actually full-body workouts being the optimal way to train for muscular hypertrophy. In summary, in review, do not take workout advice from people just because they're bigger than you. Secondly, you should understand what type of workout you're currently doing and why you are doing it. Finally, you should know the scientific community is strongly leaning towards favoring the full-body workout over the traditional bro split. I've never seen a community as ignorant of science as the fitness industry. We live in a society where many of the professional coaches will write you a workout which is completely in disagreement with the modern scientific consensus. Thank you.